Welcome back, my family. This is the channel Elevate. My name is Maneet, where we bring the top people from our community and the city who are playing very important role in bringing the city and the morale up. Today we have a special guest. Her name is Leila Castro. I don't think she needs an introduction. The kind of work she does in our community, the volunteer work. When we think of or speak of volunteer, we always thank Leila Castro. So Leila, welcome to the podcast.
Thank you for having me, Manit.
You're very welcome. It's a pleasure. So, as you have seen our previous podcast, we bring individuals from our city, especially because we just started, right? Who have played very important role in the community. So we wanted to bring you the very first one, but we were late. So for the viewers who doesn't know you, who's Leila?
Okay, so my name is Leila Castro. Leila is a very popular name
We
these
have a
days.
street.
Yes, we have a street full of potholes, right? Yeah. I am from the immigrant community, specifically the Filipino immigrant community. That was 9 years ago. We started this huge network of Filipino Manitobans, and I had a chance to manage that group. And right now, the group is 55,000.
Wow.
That huge. So and not everyone within the family is connected to the internet. So you can just imagine that more than half of Filipino Manitoban households are connected to that network, which is
I
an
think that's the
advantage.
I think that's the biggest one in Manitoba, correct?
I believe that's the biggest one in terms of Filipino immigrant
Okay.
community for a specific race or ethnicity. Other than that, because we see a lot of things in this very it's a very vibrant, very busy platform. And as one of the administrators, fortunately, I had the opportunity, to manage that group. We also see what are the patterns, what are the common problems encountered by Filipinos,
Yeah.
or what for them is the most important problems that would need solution. And based on that, we noticed that, yeah, indeed, the safety, no one escapes the safety problem in our city. So 6 years ago, we started this 204 Neighborhood Watch, because initially the purpose of that group was, to do something as a grassroots community to make the city safe. Through the years, those were learning years for myself and for the other volunteers. We saw that solutioning that problem is not simple, because there are web of problems that that need to be addressed first. And actually, the safety issues, problems that we encounter, that we see, they are more of symptoms of this, deeper problems about homelessness, very bad illegal drugs use in our city. Also, we we kind of lately starting to feel that a lot of people are falling through the cracks, even if we have a good government compared to where I originally came from, the Philippines. So this is a far richer country. Many services and programs are available, but because we came here as immigrants, we initially spoke a different language, and other than that, there are uh, many things in our culture that's not in this culture. So we kind of felt that there is a gap in terms of the approach, in terms of uh, how these programs and services would fit, the very diverse community that we have. And because of that, people started falling through the cracks, despite that services and programs are there. So from 2 Neighborhood Watch, just safety, through the years, our list of advocacies, initiatives, became longer. And with our goal of making our immigrant community, not just the Filipino immigrant community, but
Overall.
yeah, overall, to be empowered by attending to the most vulnerable in the community. So we decided, to be more active as well in these other advocacies, where more than half of them are actually no longer related to safety.
So when did you come to Canada?
Uh, my family arrived here in 2013 of January, so that was the middle of winter. Like, everybody was wondering,
Where are you?
really? To be exact, that was January 24th. So
So coming
exactly.
from like a tropical to
Yes,
very cold.
that's right. So because I could still remember in the Philippines, the normal daytime temperature at the time was 30.
In ja-
In the Philippines,
in
yes.
at
Even
that
if
time.
yeah, at that time, and at the time when the airplane landed here, it was a very cold night. So just imagine it was diving from plus 30 to
Minus 30.
mi- minus 40 at that time. That was the real feel. I think it was minus 32, and then the real feel was minus
So
40.
when you landed here, you wanted to go back right away?
Almost.
Yeah.
Well, it was like a brief moment of disillusionment because when we were on our way to the car, so it was my sister who picked me up from the airport. Uh, I was, of course, speaking with her, but my entire mouth would dry up because of the very dry air, and not only that, at the time, snowfall was so bad,
So a
so that
storm that time.
when we were traversing Q18, and then we reach the point after Inkster, like we saw piles of snow that it was like 1.5 meters. That was the height of the snow, and I was like, oh my
Wow.
god, what a shock. And then when we reached the house, so that was the time, I asked more questions, and I found out that it would be that way even at the middle of springtime. So I was thinking, how would I, look for work? So that was the first thing that came to my mind.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but then, I kept my mind open that new things, good things will soon come.
There are always pros and cons, right?
Yes, always pros and cons. And at the time too, I believe there were already other platforms of immigrant social media
Mm-hmm.
network, but I wasn't connected to any of it. So which made me compare at this time when you have that massive social media network of Filipino Manitobans, even before coming here, you can actually connect with it, or
Yep.
your relatives are connected to it, so that you can ask a lot of questions.
They
So
can get
you don't.
help.
Yes,
Yes.
yes, which helps a lot,
Yes. Oh,
right?
yes.
Yeah, in terms of what you should when you come here, what you should bring with you. One example is we left the rice cooker at home in the Philippines, but
Okay.
it's one of those that's costly here. Although I'm not sure if it's gonna work because of the
Electric
electricity.
part, yeah.
Yes, yes. So I think with being connected to something like that even before going there would help a lot to prepare you as well
Mm-hmm.
mentally, like what kind of winter it. I didn't know that it was, oh my god,
I
what a
know.
cruel winter. But just the
But
same,
it's
the
fun.
heat, it's fun because in the
Yeah.
Philippines the heat was cruel too,
Same thing in
right? It's
India. Like
same, yes.
in summertime, it goes plus 50 with the heavy, wind,
That's
hot
right.
hand,
Yes,
wind.
like the
It's
humidity.
yes, yes, yes.
Yeah, I remember in the Philippines. So well, of course, I was an IT
Mm-hmm.
practitioner, and I had to wear corporate clothes, right? So I would always wear sleeveless blouse inside because a mere crossing the street to the other side, would make me all very sweaty. So the just the same, the weather in the Philippines is ridiculously hot all throughout the year.
Humid.
even December here. Most time of the year it's very cold, but it's still up to you, right? How to make it fun. Not only that, how to make yourself, uplift the lives of other
Yeah,
people.
even in summer, I mean, winter time, I've seen kids going to the Green Hill, playing there, bagging and all those things. People have fun. They do ice
Yes.
fishing.
Oh, I haven't tried that
I haven't,
one.
but I've seen people doing that.
Yes, and they're having fun.
I
But
don't know
but
how they
but
do
one
that.
thing that makes me wonder is, how do you make yourself outdoor for a long period of time, right? Because you
Maybe,
cannot make your tent warm because
no,
it's
maybe
gonna
they're
melt.
used to it now.
Yeah, maybe, and we should be doing the same, right?
Yeah.
Because I love what they catch. I love our local fish here, which is the pickerel. Like, I'm so proud of it. I think we're the only place in this world that
For the,
has it, and it tastes good.
I didn't know that. Okay.
Yeah, and while and we can always compare it because in the Philippines that's an archipelago, so islands of I mean many islands surrounded by salty water, right? So the variety of fish you cannot count, maybe more than 100.
Lots. Yeah.
Yes, and I can always be proud of at least 20 of it tastes really good. Uh, so here, even if we're far away from the two oceans, right? It makes me proud that I can speak about one fish that's my
Specific
favorite.
one.
Specific one, pickerel is world class. I know it's only found here, but it tastes really good.
Filipinos really love seafood.
We love seafood because we well w- we're blessed that we have no problem in accessing seafood.
Okay.
In
Yeah.
fact, during my younger years, I grew up in a countryside. It was on the latter part of my schooling when I moved to Metro Manila. So if you're outside Metro Manila, it's very different. So Metro Manila it's a huge city,
It's the capital.
right?
It's the capital city.
It's a capital city,
Yeah.
so it's like you combine Toronto and Brampton. I mean, the neighboring Scarborough. You put it together, and then you
Oh,
have Metro Manila.
oh, that's how it
That's
is.
huge, yes.
Okay.
And the lifestyle there is it's the same lifestyle when you are in a huge city like
Like
not
Toronto.
everything is fresh anymore, and not everything is affordable. But if you're in a countryside, it's different. Like
Fresh food.
I remember my father when we I was young. He wouldn't cook any fish that came out from the refrigerator or from the freezer.
Oh,
So it needs
has to
to
be
be a
fresh.
fresh
Yeah.
catch,
That's the
right?
thing. When you're living in countryside, you get fresh food.
You get fresh food.
Vegetables, everything is
That's right.
fresh.
Yes, and you can also grow your own backyard vegetables, right? And you can use, you can choose to put organic fertilizer or just back home. I never even when I was young, I never saw my parents buy any fertilizer. They have a means of
Yeah,
making it, so it was so different. You can be self-sustaining, right? Like you grow your vegetables
it's all
and
organic.
then all
Yeah.
organic. Our neighbors, not in our case, would have like chicken at their backyard, right? So growing up, I witnessed how we were like 60% self-sufficient in terms of food. Like we only buy 40% of it. But once you're in the city, one classic example is we Filipinos we always love to have the banana leaves,
Okay.
yeah, in our dish. Not to eat the banana leaves, but to wrap
To
something
serve.
to
Yeah.
serve because of the flavor, right? And if you serve it, but when you're in a countryside, you don't have to buy it. It most likely is on your backyard or you can ask from your neighbors. But once you are in Metro Manila, then you need to buy it.
Bye. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
ridiculous.
Everywhere
Yeah,
same thing. When you go to big
yes,
cities, it's different
it's
lifestyle.
different.
It's
Yes,
busy,
it's
but
busy.
no fresh food.
No fresh food.
Yes.
Yes.
So, Leila, how was your journey when you came here? What work did you do?
Oh, my journey. I would say I was one of the few whose start wasn't hard
Okay.
when we arrive here. The reason why I would say few, it's because lately we are able to quantify how Filipinos, how fast the Filipinos are settling in the city. So at the time when we arrived here, so I did the usual thing of applying online. Yeah, I was fortunate because online. I mean, internet was has already expanded at the time, so you apply for everything online. So even if the city was in deep snow,
Yeah.
I didn't have to go to different offices and give my
You can give
resume.
online. Yeah.
Yes. So in a 1 month time, I received a job offer as as a project manager consultant.
Really?
Yes.
Wow.
So it was I was hired by one global information technology here, and then I was assigned to a known insurance company, to MPI actually. So I was on site the client. So like it's a consultancy work, and I
Okay.
was a project manager for IT projects. So I was there for a year. After 1 year, I was hired by another consulting company.
So that was a good start.
That was a very good start.
Yes.
And I handled cybersecurity projects for a bigger insurance company. So that was Canada Life. And then after a year, that was when our fostering endeavor started to become more demanding in terms of parenting time, because
Okay.
at the time we shifted from mentor to children's program, so we had to take care of younger children, and of course younger children had to be parented more,
More.
right? it's
Yes.
it's important in their
Spend more
formative
time.
years.
Yeah.
That's right. So i didn't want to I didn't want it that I would arrive home not emotionally present. Yeah, because project management is
Stressful.
it's stressful.
Yes.
So I cannot, I could not, of course, serve two masters at the same time. So I chose the younger masters. So the kids. So at the time, I decided that I'll just put my energies towards attending to these kids who are high needs, who are very vulnerable, who needed me more,
Yeah.
because I want them to heal right away from their trauma. I want them to be on track again, and spend the years
As
as
normal
normal
kids
kids.
should be.
Yes, as normal kids should
Should
be.
be. Yes.
So that was a practice of about more than 2 years in the IT industry, and then I
So
focused on.
2015-ish.
Yes, 2015 was
Yeah.
was my last stint.
Yeah. So
You know,
how you got towards volunteer then?
So it was also in 2015 when the 204 Filipino Forum and Marketplace was created. It was only ours when it was created, when there was a call if anyone would like to administer the platform, and then I volunteered, and
Oh, so it was not your idea then.
so it was not my idea.
Okay.
Whoever was the person, it was not my idea to create one, but the way it's shaped,
Is you.
myself and the other admins
Okay.
who were with me. It just so happened that I had become more visible because of my other volunteering group.
Maybe that's why.
Yeah, yes. So one person created it the way any person could create
Yeah.
the group. But of course, what's important is, given the opportunity that you have a group that it was growing like exponentially. So it now depends on you as admins, and how you would like to run it, and how you would like
Manage
it
it.
to shape,
Yeah.
right? Because you can choose that, oh, I want to make money out of it, right? Or you can choose, I want it to be, a vital contributor to the Canadian societies in such a way that I am going to help the most vulnerable, right? So that all together, uh, we can live here, peacefully, safely, and we can be very productive and contribute a lot to the society. So that's another way of shaping it. And I have chosen to do the second one. Unfortunately, the rest of the administrators, the present administrators, have also chosen, to choose the second one. They're so nice. You've met them, I'm sure, but they're equally into helping. Uh, just like me, they're equally into about kindness, about uplifting who are down or who are vulnerable in the society. But anyway, we were talking about coming here, right?
Yeah.
And having the job. So I also felt that because I didn't practice information technology, project management up to 2015, and it was November in 2015 when I became one of the administrators of the 204 Filipino Forum and Marketplace. If I went during the times I was reflecting, and when I looked at it, I was thinking maybe it was meant to be because I had to do something else, which is not the traditional thing that occupies your everyday life. And I embrace it. Fortunately, I embrace it. And with that, I saw the group just boom. It became
Very
big,
big.
very big, and it's not going to be that way. I believe if the members don't feel safe in that group, if the members don't trust the group, and if the members don't see that the correct principles, are upholded by the group. So I believe people see the beauty in it, which
Yeah.
is why, it has become a massive group.
So my understanding is it's called 204 Filipino Marketplace, right? So is it only for Filipinos or other people can join to get some help?
That's a very good question. So initially it was for Filipino marketplace. The purpose was purely initially for new immigrants.
Yeah.
And the reason why it was a marketplace, it's not KGG, because we are not merchants as
Yes.
administrators. So initially, the purpose was if you are a new immigrant, normally you would want to speak with a sales agent of cars, insurance, who speak your language. So people who are doing that business or that kind of work, they can advertise there. Other than that, normally you cannot afford to buy brand new rice cooker, right?
Okay.
So you would look for people who traditionally would have the items that you would need, right? So you would look for what do you call that? The sale that you do at your garage sale
Yeah, yeah,
during
yard sale.
summertime,
Yeah,
yard
yeah.
sale, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And you can post there, right? And then after 1-2 years, that's the time you're gonna have the opportunity and the means to buy house. Just like I mean, and people, you would want to speak with people who speaks the language,
Yeah.
right?
To
Or
feel comfortable.
yeah, you feel comfortable, or you're not shy to ask sensitive questions, right? Or any culturally specific questions. And then, so from time to time, we always brainstorm, we the admins, if it's time to open it up, and we're always not ready to open it up
Yeah.
because there are so many peculiar things to being Filipino, right? That the other people may not understand.
Yeah.
So, the reason why we're not opening it up is we feel that we, as admins, are not ready. But definitely, Filipinos are very friendly, and many times we have members of the family who are not Filipinos by race, or who who don't speak, our language,
Language, yeah.
or yeah, ethnicity is not Filipino, or we have good friends, we have supporters just like you who are not Filipinos by ethnicity. So we decided definitely open it up to them because they are friends of Filipinos. So the time will come when we're gonna open it when we're ready. But since we are volunteers, of course, it's also gonna be a problem if we just allow it to be open to anyone,
Yeah.
and then we won't be ready in terms of manpower and how to handle it. And not only that, we won't be ready in terms of knowledge about the things that are very specific to other cultures, right? But it's one of the things that we are looking at in the future. What if it becomes inevitable that we really have to open it to be a very
But you
vibrant.
guys doing very good.
Yeah, thank you for that. Thank you that you're able to notice
No,
that.
actually, I saw a few times new immigrants who come here literally with nothing. They'll post there, okay, we need something. Let's say rice cooker, for example, right? And people will donate. That's something very good. And I don't think
Yes,
that'll be possible without having this kind of group because no one will know, right?
that's right.
No one
That's
will know,
right.
yeah.
Yes.
One more question. Something that I know you of is 204 walk. What's
Yes.
that? Well, I know,
So
but
yes, you've walked with
yeah,
us
yeah.
several times, right? Not only that, you've clothed us with vest, and you've done a lot of things for our community. Thank you for that.
Thank you. No, no, thank
Um,
you so much.
so having this group, and as an admin, if you really take it seriously, you will see a lot of things. What things are repeated, right? So among the things that were repeated, and until now it's the same, are complaints that someone broke into, did a break-in in our car, and then or someone stole from, things like this, or one person threatened a family member. And it was like year on year, it was already year two, and we still saw the same thing. So we decided, after one very serious incident when a teenager was in front of her house,
Okay.
and it's supposed to be a place of safety,
Yeah, yeah,
right?
yeah.
But then there were two men who robbed her, and then there was a machete
Wow.
that was pointed to her. So that was very scary. The child was 15 years old at that time. And it was like, an eye opener that we cannot just, as a grassroots community, who had been saying a lot of conversations about it, we cannot just keep sitting down and just looking at it. So we
Exactly.
decided that
To do something.
to do something, to or to organize something, so that there are activities we can do to hopefully address or lessen address a problem or lessen the problem. So we started a tool for Neighborhood Watch. The goal was to make this city a safer place. When through the years, and through our many walks as well, because that was at the time the most achievable, to come together every week and then go to places and do the walk. So we learned things like, when we visited parks and playgrounds, most of the drug paraphernalia are there.
Yeah.
So we try to clean the area, so that a person like a child can go there and not be harmed,
They can
right?
play safely.
Yes, and there were times as well when, while we were cleaning a bunch of broken glasses, and we just remove a syringe and then three baggies from the playground. I believe they were very new immigrants, so I saw a very enthusiastic, happy boy running towards the playground, and then the mom was behind him. They are immigrants, and they were not even aware that broken glasses were there. And we can't blame them.
Yeah.
They're new immigrants,
Yes.
right? For them, ev- these things look very nice. They are in Canada, right? Wow, what a nice playground, what a
Exactly.
nice amenities you have in there. But it's hard to see that at the minute level, there actually are, these dangers that are there. So from being a safe walk group, we spoke with a lot of people in the area. Then the police got to know about what we do, connected with us, and then other stakeholders started connecting with us. And those conversations, plus the many things that we see on that platform, made us discover a lot more. Like that there are people who are falling through the cracks because even if there are services and programs, as I mentioned earlier, it seems not to fit them. One example is this family. So the parents, their son was killed inside while their son was working. Their son was killed by robbers. So it was a very traumatic experience for them. Until now, they're very traumatized. They're Filipino
Is
immigrants.
this the one
That's
that?
Barion, Maria and Manny Barion, the one where you attended the vigil.
Yes. Yes.
Manny and Maria, they quitted their therapy for the reason that the therapy was in English with all the accent, right? So we cannot blame the
No.
therapies. We
Exactly.
cannot blame Manny and Maria, but there's a gap there because Manny and Maria, their first language is not English, and when you're traumatized, you don't think in
No.
your second language,
Exactly.
right?
Yeah.
So that's one very good example where services and programs are there, but it's not fit. So what we try to do as volunteers when we come across things like this and then we see that it's repeated many times, meaning it is a very important issue that needs attention, we try to form whatever is needed to somehow address those things. So last year we had 20 people attend the psychological first aid certification training. So from two certified psychological first aiders, there were 20 that were added. So we are now 22 psychological first aiders.
That's good.
And then every opportunity where we can establish a connection, like with a lawyer, because sometimes a victim of domestic violence would have a question at 9 p.m. Who would you call? I mean, which is, about a legal matter, who would you call at 9 p.m., right? And let's say you would call at an office hour and that person is not a volunteer, then you would be charged,
Yeah.
right? So we welcome all the opportunities to connect with resources like lawyers, with people who could refer to us to government services like Employment Manitoba, or people who had gone through filing a complaint to about an employer to employment standards, or people who are knowledgeable because they had become presidents of union, because we do come across people who would need our help because they had problems with their jobs, they had problems with their domestic relationship with a drug dependent husband. They had problem with y- not a husband but a wife who's who is you won't believe this, like financially abusing them, like a wife who would not allow the husband to work and earn money.
Really.
Yes, we well, hard to imagine, but
So there are different
things,
things.
yes,
Yeah.
there are different things. And the I mean the bewildering thing, or the surprising thing here is no no one among these people knows that 204 is or no one among these people talk among themselves uh, to know that we can be contacted, the 204 Volunteers Incorporated. So normally when their message would reach my filtered message, or when a surprising call would reach me, I would ask them, oh, how did you know? And then they said that what they did was do a search in the Filipino forum, and they saw that the 204 volunteers are actually active in providing the correct answers to issues, and they also saw that other people had experience contacting the group. So because of that, we decided that we needed to strengthen the psychological first aid and not just the safe walk. So that's one advocacy. And then one another thing that we noticed, and were communicated to us, was that the Filipino blood is there's a crisis of the availability of that here in the province.
That was my next question to you.
Okay, I read your mind.
Yes.
For the reason that not so many Filipinos are donating blood. That's one. And then second, there is this very rare blood type, the JK3. Only the ethnicities Filipino and Polynesian have this blood type,
Really?
JK3. So if we have the A, B, O,
Oh, yeah, yeah.
right, plus minus, so there's the JK3.
JK3.
Yes.
I didn't know about that.
I also didn't know how they create the acronym for that one, but yes, there's a JK3, which are not part of, which is, different from the normal ABO that we hear about.
So you're also connected with blood donation groups and stuff.
Yes,
Yeah.
one of our strengths is collaboration. And we prioritize collaborating on areas where there is vulnerability. So if not if the availability of Filipino blood is a crisis, which means that there are many Filipinos who will die, right? If during for the treatment of their cancer, or if they need blood transfusion, blood will not be available. And there are contributing factors why there is a crisis with the Filipino blood availability, and it has to do with culture.
Yeah.
So regular blood donation is not part of the Filipino culture.
And it is or it is not?
It's not part
It is
of
not,
Filipino,
really.
meaning we have to tweak, or we have to do that. We have to do a paradigm shift, right? It's a paradigm shift because just imagine to be a regular donor in a in a country with our population isn't so big, right? To be a regular donor, it means feeling pain, not just from your regular blood works, right? But if you're a male, every 2 months actually you can donate blood. If you're female, every 3 months you can donate blood.
I met you in 2018, first time. And after that, we met occasionally.
Yes.
But today, talking to you, I'm learning more and more about you. Looks like this podcast can go hours.
I think
So
so.
what we should do is we should have another podcast
Yes.
and talk to you like this. No more to learn from you a lot. Um, Talk about blood donation. How often is the one you're connected with? How often you guys do blood donations?
Previously, it was just once a year because,
Okay.
like in the previous years, it was very hard to put together even 10 people, 12 people,
Yeah.
right? And our problem was always I would commit to 15 people and then only 7 would come. But the key, or we tried to address the root cause. We spread the word that it is indeed needed, and we communicated it in a very clear manner. We tried to make ways to make blood donation something to look forward to. we told people to share how their blood donation was.
The
And the
experience. Yeah.
experience, yes, and I think it worked because yesterday I was speaking with Brett. Brett is the director of Canadian Blood Services for Manitoba, and I think for Saskatchewan as well. And our problem was how to fit in the 40 people
When is
in a 3 hour
when is the
time.
next one?
April 2nd. It's gonna be this Tuesday.
Oh, what is today? 20. So next week.
Next week, and we already have
Are you gonna do?
yeah, you come. You can like do a podcast and interview people.
Yeah.
Just imagine
We
our
should.
problem
Yeah.
was we have a 3 hour and we needed to fit only 30 people, but the donors are more than 40,
Wow. Which is good.
which is good. Meaning
Yes.
we were able to change what needed changing,
And
and
those
that's
40 are through you.
100% Filipinos.
Yeah. I mean, from your group
Yes,
and
from
stuff,
our
right?
group. So that
Wow.
was a group blood donation drive. So our next step now is how to make these people come up with their own group blood donation
Very
drive.
good. Yeah.
So how what we do, how the others will be emulating that,
So,
because
so donating blood is very important as buying a house from me.
yes, that's right. It is. It
No,
is.
it's a good cause,
It is a good
You're
cause.
saving a life.
You're saving lives,
Yes.
and as another, as another information, first-hand information from my husband,
Mm-hmm.
because he undergoes a phlebotomy regularly because of his thalassemia. He doesn't have cancer, but the procedure is done within the cancer care facility. Uh, so he meets a lot of people who go there for chemotherapy, for blood transfusion,
Mm-hmm.
and there are Filipinos who have cancer. There are kids. There are older people who go there for blood transfusion. Uh, my husband's hematologist himself told my husband that 60% of the blood collected by Canadian Blood Services go to cancer care.
Wow.
And there are real life people
Yeah.
who are waiting for this blood. Like their life, their lives depend on the blood that will be made available at Canadian Blood Services. That's how critical it is.
It is.
Yes,
It
that
is.
that kind of, for me, that's a very very high form of charity, because it doesn't matter if you're earning minimum. It doesn't matter if you're a multimillionaire, but your blood looks the same. It's red, which is a symbol of love. It touched the very core of your heart. It's painful when it is extracted from you, but your blood saves precious lives.
That's very good. Very good. So, I'll be talking more with you in our next podcast. There's so much
Yes,
to learn. So
there are
much.
so much because
My next thing was, which we'll not talk today, is about fun part, which I have joined you guys as well in Christmas time, giving gifts to
that's
needy
right.
people.
Yes,
That was amazing.
it was amazing.
But for today's, thank you so much. I
Mm-hmm.
hope our viewers have learned a lot from you. They want to join your group, they can join 204 Neighborhood Watch and 204 Filipino
Forum and marketplace.
Marketplace. Okay, great. We'll be posting those links down as well, so
Mm-hmm.
they can reach out to you
Mm-hmm.
directly. And any questions you have, you can always message her. She is very, very active on social media. Thank you so much for coming today, and
Thank you,
see you
Manit.
again.
Yes, thank you. And if I may have like 10 more seconds, because as I
Yes,
have
please.
mentioned that 204 is very good with collaboration. And in the future, these are among the things that we will, I would love to talk about in your podcast. One is our, collaboration with International Justice Mission, which is
Wow.
about ending the online sexual exploitation of children, where the most number of children victimized are in the Philippines and in India.
Yeah.
And one of the four top uh, countries with the most number of, in terms of the most number of perpetrators, one of that is Canada.
It
and
is.
I am so passionate about talking about this problem because not very much people are comfortable talking about it.
I,
That's one. And
I
then
believe to cure something, you have to talk about it
that's
first.
right, so
If
the
you don't
conversation.
know, how can you
Yes,
find the solution,
that's right.
right?
Even if it seems embarrassing, there are details you can't even mention the words, right? But
Yes,
we have to start talking about it.
correct.
And then another thing is our collaboration with Alzheimer's Society of Manitoba, because uh, the the um, the organization started doing the projections, and like in the next 5 years, there has to be a great improvement that needs to happen on the program and the readiness of the government in supporting what would be the number of people with the dementia condition at that time. So our present involvement was marshaling their events, but now we are going deeper into the involvement, which includes like making their materials more culturally sensitive, more culturally specific. So we are now helping them convert their flyers into the Filipino language. Our group
Yeah,
is
yeah,
is helping them do that, and plus a lot of other things, because this is another vulnerability
it is.
in our community.
Yeah. I hope we have more of people like you who think too much about the community and the city. But again, thank you so much. And hope you guys like today's podcast. If you like it, let us know. Any other subjects you want to talk about, let us know. Keep looking our podcast, share this if it's more you think should go to more people. And until next time, see you guys again. Thank you.
Thank you, Manit.